Hey, property management friends. Welcome to This Week in Property Management. I'm your host, Jeremy Pound from RentScale. I want to tell you, we've spent the entire week getting ready for Southern States next week, and I hope to see you there. Jen, who is my guest today, and I are opening the keynote on Wednesday morning. So if you're going to go, if you'll be there, we have some killer strategies to show you, and I can't wait to see you in Destin, Florida, or Pensacola, or wherever the heck this place is. I'm in Florida. I just know this place is too far for me to drive, too far for me to fly, but I'm going to somehow get from Florida to Florida, and I hope to see you guys there. So we are just waiting for our live guest to join us. So while we do that, let's take a quick look at a highlight from a previous episode.
In 2024, the number of build-to-rent units has increased by 15% compared to 2023. And the surge is driven by growing demand for flexible living options and the relative stability of rental income. Not only do developers and home builders and property managers want to get in on this, the finance people and the funding is really attractive for a lot of different people. This influx of capital is really a testament to the perceived stability. BTR communities provide a wide range of amenities like those fitness centers. Some of them even have things like co-working spaces. The urban areas are experiencing a resurgence of popularity in recent years, with so many individuals drawn to just the lifestyle and the opportunities found in bigger cities. So it's prime locations like your LAs, Chicago's, and New York's, but I also think it's prime locations within each small community.
So be sure that you're subscribed to us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and X so that you can watch these industry episodes live and be the first to hear what's new and trending, like what we're going to talk about today. So there is one highlight from a year of episodes. And in case you didn't know this, we are celebrating our 1-year anniversary of This Week in PM. We started this show to keep you in the loop and up to date on what's happening in the industry on a regular basis. It takes a lot of work. I have been away and my team has seen what it takes for them to do all of this work when I'm gone. Thank you very much to them. Thank you very much to Flintstone Media and the team that has allowed us to do this. So I want to say thank you to those who have been watching and participating from the very beginning 1 year ago, and to those who have been guests on the show. Since it's our 1-year anniversary, I want to take a quick moment to look back at some of the highlights from the last year and some of our favorite memories. So check this out. We're going to get started here soon. Thanks for everybody. I know we're going live. It's going to take a couple minutes for everybody to show up. We are live. All right. Well, we're making history here, Mark. Glad that you not only are the first issue of Strategic PM, but the first guest on This Week in PM. So thanks for being the pioneer. Do you like Archie, the sales monot? Can you see the light next to me?
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I can totally see that. I didn't know what that was, though.
My space cowboy. We're going to discuss what's on all of our minds in the industry, and we're going to bring you a ton of numbers and some great stories. I'm Jeremy Pound, co-founder of RentScale, publisher of Strategic PM, and host of This Week in PM.
There's so many investors, investor markets there that, investors just want to learn. They just want to grow.
There are just a lot of different ways to do what we do. And that's, therein lies the opportunity in this industry, quite honestly. There's a lot of problems to solve. There's a lot of different ways to do it. And there's no real one way to do it. There are just a
lot of larger organizations that are now coming in and acquiring some of the smaller property management companies that are out there.
What regulators are not happy about, and what isn't great for consumers is saying you have to buy this specific product, right? Versus having an opportunity to go get a State Farm or Progressive policy, et cetera.
The golden age over, or is it still a great time to be in the business?
I think it's arguably gotten better over the last couple of years. I mean, granted, you have realtors hanging their shingle and coming in, but on the whole, the industry has become way more operationalized. More than ever, there's capital coming in.
A better understanding in the industry of value creation. So value creation and monetization, and I've learned much of this from my friend Danny Craig, but those are two different things. And I think in the fee maxing craze, there was a little bit of a loss of understanding of value creation.
So we're seeing a ton of accidental landlords enter the space right now. A lot of that is because there are different regulations coming up from state to state, and it's becoming more and more challenging and more risky to become a self-managing landlord. We have a community of just under 70 BDMs who are all responsible for lead generation and adding doors into their property management companies to help with scalability and growth. I am really happy to introduce to you what we're going to call the BDM scoreboard. Close those 95 doors after persistent, consistent prospecting. We've been pushing all of our members to set an outbound prospecting plan, and then we've been following up and holding accountable to make sure those activities are actually happening. And usually our coaches are coming in with some sort of trend that we're seeing or struggle that all the BDMs are having in our community of 70, and they're bringing a lesson to teach and help coach these BDMs through this.
Well, that was fun to see, and I'm so glad to have my counterpart and favorite guest here with me today. We're going to share with you everything that we've been seeing from our fastest growing clients and what they're doing today to grow today in 2024. But first, a quick word from a sponsor, and I'll be back with Jen.
Hi there. Did you know that RentScale hosts one of the largest communities of property management sales professionals in North America? Well, my name is Reese Register, and I'm actually a previous BDM and currently a scale coach here at RentScale. We provide over 20 hours monthly of teaching and training and accountability to make sure that our BDMs are supercharging their sales business through inbound, outbound, and allbound. So if you're interested in learning more about supercharging your business, go over to rentscale.com. We'll be glad to schedule a consult and see how we can help you transform your business today.
All right, welcome back, Jen. So glad to have you here. I know that we've been talking a lot about this. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to share with our audience what we're seeing our best, fastest growing property management clients doing. But before we ask you for your strategies, how are we defining who are our fastest growing companies? Let's introduce what the criteria is for what we're going to share today.
Yeah, so the criteria is all around the data that we've been able to collect for the last year and even further beyond, but actually put it on paper, get our stuff together well enough to put it down and share it with the industry. And that's the scoreboard. So what I report out on every week is this blue thing that you guys see. And a lot of what we're going to be talking about today comes directly from the scoreboard and the numbers and the trends that we're seeing over the last year in our community.
Let's go ahead and share the scoreboard so that everybody knows what we're talking about on the screen. Walk us through it.
Yeah, so this is rentscale.com / scoreboard. And this is where you can find all of the past scoreboards. And so we do them every single month. And if you just scroll down and kind of look through this, you can see that what we've done is compiled several different months now. And so I took some time and really dove into all of these members that we see at the top of the scoreboard each month, right here over on the left-hand side, and paid attention to what it is that they're doing different or what some commonalities are. So everything we share today has been pulled directly from data sourced from within inside our community.
That's great. Okay. So amazing data, tons of numbers here. Check out rentscale.com / scoreboard. I think it's adorable that you always say backslash. I think everybody knows there's only one slash when you're putting
Forward slash, backslash. What is it?
Like, who knows what that is? But rentscale.com/scoreboard. This is where we have it. We are officially, celebrating our 1-year anniversary. We're also celebrating 1 year of Scoreboard data, which is amazing. So we have 12 months now, which is amazing. And we really want to drive this in the industry. I think we can stop sharing the scoreboard. And I want to hear, what are some of the takeaways? So what's the first thing that you're taking away from the clients who are on the top of the scoreboard on a regular basis?
So biggest takeaways in just dissecting this data and sitting down and really thinking about what our clients are doing different, I come up with 3 main factors. And I know you guys are expecting that they would all have to do with sales. Here's a shocker, they don't. We know our clients really well inside and out, and we have talked to them from about everything from pricing to how they're organizing and strategizing their overall structure. We've talked to them about lead generation. Obviously, we've talked to them about business development. And the 3 trends that I'm seeing across the board in our top performers every single month are investment in top talent, specialization, and some sort of lead generation strategy that is based on the long-term nurture of prospects and long-term relationship building.
Okay, got it. All right, so let's jump in one at a time. I think that's a great way to look at it. So you talked about top talent. Tell me what you're thinking or what you're seeing in terms of top talent.
Yeah, so I think that the best companies at the top of our leaderboard, if I really dissect what they have, a lot of them have invested big money, big time, and big effort in training some really, really smart people that can help level them up. I am seeing owners hire people who are far smarter than they are. No offense, owners. I'm just saying the people that are helping you are incredibly smart, and they're not afraid to invest in their business. And an example, we've got a client who we helped hire a business development manager for, and this person arguably cost more than any other business development manager that we've ever hired. And, our owner said, you know what? This is my person. This is who's going to level me up. This is what I need in my business. And so he's paying a high salary for this individual, but I'll tell you what, they're at the top of the leaderboard. So they're getting the results that they needed to earn that level of pay. I also look at some of our clients that have, COOs running their company, or they have chief finance people paying attention to strategies and numbers and data when it comes to financial metrics, or they have people that have been in the industry for longer than them as directors of property management. And so they're just really investing in top talent in their company. And a common theme that I see across all of these owners that are at the top is that they don't have all the answers. They're hiring, Steve Jobs, right? Hire smart people so that they can tell us what to do, not we tell them what to do. And I'm seeing that really play out in real life. They're hiring smart people, they're paying for top talent, and that investment is paying off in spades.
Okay, so this is just very different than what I'm hearing everybody else talk about. Everyone's saying you can just use a VA, you can just use AI. We don't really need to invest in people. That's the most ridiculous cost in growing a property management company. But are you telling me that our best clients are actually, focused on bringing in the right talent and willing to pay for it?
Jeremy, I'm telling you that that's what our scoreboard and our leaderboard says. I'm telling you that VAs are wonderful. I never want to discount any VA or any VA service. They obviously have a place. Otherwise, people wouldn't be utilizing them. But what I'm saying from the data that we have here and the parallels that I've pulled is maybe they're hiring a conjunction, and there's top talent that they're hiring and VAs, and they're integrating AI, maybe. But it is top talent. I can clearly say that. But yeah, I think that we've over optimized in some cases for technology and maybe even VAs. And in some areas, I think that people, especially in this business, is what's needed.
So do you have any anecdotal stories or anything you want to share around some of our clients that are on the top of the leaderboard and who they've invested in and how it's worked out for them?
Sure. So at the top of our leaderboard, there's a couple clients that come to mind. And I'd say mostly what they've invested in, there's really two positions that I'm seeing are making a huge difference. And as far as our numbers are concerned and what our leaderboard shows. So the first one is going to be your operations person. So whether you call them a COO or a director, I don't particularly care, but they're focused in the weeds on operations. And so it's all about putting those fires out quickly. We all know that property management is filled with fires. So it's about putting them out quickly, but even more than that, it's about having the systems and processes to put the fires out quickly. We know that they're going to come. They happen over and over again. And a lot of the fires are the same fires. So if you've got somebody who is overseeing everything that's happening and then saying, okay, this has now happened too many times for us not to have a standardized process around, and that director or COO of operations is then going, okay, team, this is a scenario we keep seeing happen. I'm going to train you. I'm going to give you a procedure and we're going to handle it every single way like this. That's a really important role that I'm seeing a lot of property management companies very successful with. And then the second one that I'm seeing, and I don't know, maybe this is self-serving or a little bit biased, but it is the property management business development managers. I can't stress enough that if you want to grow your company, you have to have someone in sales. And you and I have talked about this at length in many other industries. There's no need to convince anyone that they need a salesperson. Think of almost any other industry. I bet you the first person you encounter is likely a salesperson. And in this industry, it still seems to be a somewhat foreign concept. But if you want to grow your company and you want to see the door count that we're seeing on these scoreboards, you have to have someone fully dedicated to this. And there are people out there that have used property managers and use them as salespeople. And in fact, we'll have one on in a couple of weeks that uses that model and we'll discuss the differences. But I truly believe that you've got to have someone fully dedicated to this role, because I've seen it play out too many times where someone who's wearing multiple hats is not really focused. And I'm telling you right now, they're not on this leaderboard.
That's a great share. I, got to say, as a business owner personally, people are the difference between a great experience as a business owner and a terrible experience. The clients you let in the front door and the people you hire and investing in them. And again, VAs are great. We have an amazing one on our team. We've had multiple before. I just think that you shouldn't really judge everything on, is it a VA? Is it a normal person? It's who's going to do the best job. And as you guys see this and you watch Jen, I think Jen gets paid more by RentScale than even I do, but I don't regret it at all because I wouldn't be able to do this business without her. And so that is the kind of level of commitment when you bring in somebody great. And so a lot of the people on the top of our scoreboard that we saw have invested in a COO or an integrator or a general manager, whatever you want to call them. I know a lot of us have 4 or 5 person companies and you hear COO and that's like this giant name. Maybe it's just the manager of who's doing it, but like really investing in somebody to do that is shockingly helping the company grow faster. I shouldn't say shockingly, but I just think obviously we're talking about business development and those people that are going to be able to bring on new doors, but actually having somebody who is an adult that is really running the company, that is keeping everything good, managing the onboarding, managing the referral process, managing everything that you want. We are just seeing over and over again that you can't overinvest in that. That's just what I'm taking away from that. All right, so Jen, just for the sake of time, because I'm going to talk about that all day, let's transition. So you also mentioned that the type of clients that our clients are looking for is having a material effect on their ability to grow. Would you share more on that?
Yeah. So again, as I look at this leaderboard and I dissect the companies that are consistently at the top over the past year, I'm seeing a level of, I call it specialization, differentiation. They're niching down. And I think that we always believe in helping you attract more of the clients that you love. But at the top of this leaderboard, I'm seeing people that have taken that even a step further. So of course it's about figuring out who your ideal client profile is. You know, are you targeting investors? Are you targeting accidentals? Are you targeting self-managing? But I think it goes so much deeper than that. I think it goes into what is the specific area you want to target. Like the more granular you can get, the more focus you have, the better. And I run into so many property managers that are clients of ours who are just like, I can service everyone in an entire, like California, I got it. I can handle it all the way up and down the entire state, which is possible, but you might need multiple businesses. The people at the top of this leaderboard, though, are so niche down and so granular, almost down to the street. In fact, one of the property managers who's consistently at the top does niche down to the street. He has a map and he's like, yes, no, yes, yes, no. And that's just how it goes. So he's very clear about what area he wants to manage in. And third, the type of houses that he wants to manage. And this is true as well amongst everyone in the leaderboard. So being clear about the type of house you want to manage, whether it be new construction or build to rent or older homes so that there's more maintenance, that kind of granularity is really going to help us set up clear processes and procedures and operations and help us know which areas of our business need to be stronger and which don't need to be built up that strong. Does that make sense?
100%. There's some other things too. It's not just like, so what I took away from that I've seen is you need a target not only for owner mentality, but also property type, right? So you were talking about like on the street, like that's a property profile, but there's also an owner profile. And I've watched you do this. I mean, what is the point? Like what is the salesmanship, the game that we can play when we know who we help? Because I feel like that shapes the whole sales process. I think that's what you're getting at. You haven't shared with the team yet.
Yeah, when we know who we help, we know exactly what their issues should be. We know what they should, we actually know what they should care about. We ask them what they care about, but we know what that is. And we can position our businesses to be better in those areas. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you want to target new construction. Okay, so if you target new construction, your value proposition to that owner is a little bit different than if you targeted the older area of town that has homes from the 1950s in it. Okay, if you're in new construction, your value proposition is all going to be about inspections and maintaining the house to the level that it is today. It's a brand new house, right? And so you're going to talk a lot about how you're going to inspect the property and how you're going to make sure the tenants are caring for that property. And you're going to value prop what you need for a new construction. Now, if you've got more homes in the area of town that is the 1950s and 1960s, I'm seeing a lot of property managers need to build up their maintenance more than anything. So instead of focusing on inspections and instead of focusing on the new construction, they're over here going, okay, I'm going to manage a bunch of homes from the 1950s. That's going to require a lot of maintenance. So I need to beef up my maintenance department and also my messaging around maintenance. So when something breaks or goes wrong, I've got people on call. I've got dedicated lists of vendors who are all screened, vetted, insured, and we check their work. You know, you got to beef up that piece of your business operationally, but then you use that as your value proposition when you're selling. And when you can get that level of clear alignment, so that if you're over here in the 1960s world or 1950s world of houses, you're not necessarily talking about inspections. Instead, you're talking about how great your maintenance team is and how much you're going to save an owner by having maintenance, say, in-house. And so that's, I think, what a lot of people miss when we think about specialization. And I ask clients to get really granular. They're sitting there going, but I need to run a company. I need to run a business. So I just need to take anybody who is willing to open their arms to me. I'm willing to open my arms to them. But at the end of the day, the more granular you get with who you want to help and the type of properties you want to manage and the neighborhoods that you want to be in, even down to how much a property rents for, the better you can align your business to those people. Think about all your clients who are upset and angry with you. You could probably cut that number down significantly if you just targeted one segment. You had clients you love who loved you back because you had the right processes in place to do the things they valued, needed, and cared about.
Great. Thank you for sharing that. That's perfect. I also think about the third thing you said, which I want to transition to, which is I think that our fastest growing clients are just playing a different lead gen game, right? They're doing something very different than everybody else. And I think that, we get on these calls, we talk to everybody, and the number one thing was like, okay, I'm getting leads, but they're not good leads, or they're not ready to buy yet. And kind of piggybacking on number two, which is that they're specialized, they know who they're going after. You've shared with me that there's something that our best clients are doing differently. They're playing a different game when it comes to marketing and lead gen. Would you care to share what you're seeing?
Yeah. So there is a clear trend that no one at the top of the scoreboard is just buying leads from APM or Thumbtack or Geek. Your paid lead services sometimes are a necessity to get your business started, or even to build in and add on to what you already have. But there is no one who's relying on those services solely. So I know that when you and I were talking a little bit about this, I said the word marketing. It's even more than that. I think that it is our clients digging into marketing qualified leads rather than just sales qualified leads. Maybe people who are a little further away from the buying decision, or dare I say, people who haven't even considered investing in real estate at all. So the companies at the top of the leaderboard have marketing and lead gen systems in place that are targeting multiple different mediums, but they're all really built on long-term nurture and relationships. It's basically taking someone who knows nothing about it, teaching them something they didn't know or hadn't considered, and then elevating them up through the buyer's pyramid until the point that they're ready to buy and they're at the top of that triangle.
And are there any ideas that you want to share about how people are doing that? I think immediately about our good friend Mark Ainley and how he's got a podcast and a show. But clearly, I think that when we are talking to some of our prospects and our clients, we're meeting people at conferences, they seem to have a myopic view of lead gen. And they're just like, well, it's just Google, right? But it's not just Google. Like, what are you seeing that's working? And what are some of the things that we think our clients should be thinking about that maybe they aren't?
Here's the thing is that the companies at the top of the leaderboard that are doing the best, just growing their companies overall, seem to not be relying on one strategy. So there are multiple strategies and multiple different levers that they're pulling to make sure that they are attracting people in different mediums. So it is, here's the laundry list, right? And this is definitely not all inclusive, but it's everything from social media and not just posts, but advertisements, to Google retargeting, to direct mail, to radio, to YouTube, to podcasts, to video shows, to regular emails going out to people. The list feels endless. And sure, in that list is SEO, and in that list is Google PPC. And you know what, dare I say, a lot of the times in that list, there is still a lead gen service like APM or Thumbtack or Geek. But a lot of people have started to kind of wean off of that once they get their lead generation systems to the point that it's actually bringing in consistent leads. But there are so many different ways that you can do this. When I think about our community, one of the most powerful ways to do this, and this happens through all of those different things, is long-term relationships. So I immediately think of investor meetups within the city. I think of networking at social groups. I know that there's mixed reviews out there on BNI. Some people have had great success with it, some people haven't. But trying those things out is so important. I know that we talked, Jeremy, I don't even remember. We're talking so often at this point, but this morning we were talking a little bit about what people are doing when it comes to all of the different networking groups and how they're going about building these relationships. And I just think at the end of the day, we have to stop playing the short game. And we have to stop targeting the people who are ready to buy today and ready to convert, because that's what we need. We need to be playing the long game. We need to be thinking about how to incept these people or how to influence them from the very beginning. Not just that you're the best property manager, but first that real estate is the best investment that you could put your money in. And then that when you buy real estate, that you need a professional property manager to manage. And then that you get a professional property manager, oh, by the way, it's me. That's such a long game, but I just think we have to stop being so short-sighted when it comes to our lead generation strategies and bite the bullet.
I think it's just so easy and tempting and sexy to run your business through a spreadsheet. We all think we're like running this giant company at Merrill Lynch or Sachs, or Goldman Sachs, and we're just like, hey, if I can just squeeze out this one thing out of this thing and I can run it at a high level. We're forgetting that as a small business, like we need to be in the weeds. And so I like everything you shared, Jen, which is great. I see all these parallels, even at RentScale as a business owner. So a lot of viewers may know, but not all of them, that this is my third large company that I've grown. And I've learned more from the failures than the successes. But one thing we try to do is teach our clients exactly what, like we always want to be sharing with our clients what we're doing to grow our business. And so to recap, Jen, if I understand this right, number one, we need to be investing in the right talent. As you guys see, I have Jen here on this call, which is amazing. Please don't steal her. Absolutely game changer for us, but I'm investing in that. And it'd be a lot easier to be like, oh yeah, I can just do like, a VA, or I can just do something else. And again, there are amazing VAs, and our good friends over at Better Who talk about VAs even being able to be integrators and COOs. But I can just share with you guys, like you call us, you talk to Jen, director of coaching, you work with her, you are going to see what quality looks like, which is amazing. Number two, specialization. We're a sales coaching and consulting company. We could be working with any business in the world, but we're only working with residential property managers. Talk about specialization. We're not only focused on just residential property managers, but we're not doing any, lead gen, and we're not doing any coaching or EOS stuff. We're like just focused on sales. So we are in the sweet spot of specialization. And then lastly, as we think through it, playing the long game, running the show, like why do we even have, this 1 year anniversary episode of This Week in PM? This is what we're doing. We are out there meeting people who one day will want to hire us, because I know that's going to work. When you're specialized and you have an amazing service for the clients that you want to be serving, you just got to meet them, and you got to meet them and maybe take them out of the market to ever Google your service. So I'm hoping that no property managers ever have to go onto a Facebook group or go onto Google and be like, who can help me grow my company? Because they're watching this show, they're subscribing to our magazine, they're meeting us at conferences. Like we are playing the long game indefinitely. And so we are always trying to share what we do and what works for us and learn from our clients. And the whole thing is basically like a mirror image of each other. So Jen, I really appreciate that. It's just really amazing to me. I've been on sales calls with our team, and I've seen them share the scoreboard, and I've seen somebody who's struggling to close 3 or 4 doors a month, or maybe they've lost 3 or 4 doors a month and they haven't grown. And then they see these amazing people like we talked about today, and they're closing 30, 40 doors a month. And I know that's not for everybody, but it's amazing to like just put yourself in that presence and see that. And I don't want to speak for you, Jen, but I know when I see our clients at the top of the scoreboard and I see how they run their business, I'm inspired. Like I'm just really blown away by what they're doing. So I really appreciate you distilling this down into 3 things that you're seeing, because it's a big deal. It's you show these other people and they're like, oh, they must have more resources than me. They must be doing bigger things than I am. And you really broke it down into 3 things today. And I'm grateful for that. I think it was amazing. Any parting shots that you want to share with the listeners?
I think probably the only thing that I would say is, as I look at the scoreboard over the past year, I just see some really inspiring work that has taken place. And it's such a great time to reflect and be thankful for the incredible talent that we have had in our community. I look back at these scoreboards and I see numbers that are kind of absurd. 46 doors, 58 doors, 42 doors, 60 doors, 95 doors, 126 doors.
In 1 month, by the way, just to be clear.
In 1 month. This is 1 month from one BDM. That's what I'm referring to in all of those numbers. And so my parting shot is like, if you think you can't grow your property management company, and if you think that you're stuck, I want you to look to this scoreboard for inspiration, because you absolutely can. And sure, those are the top performers in our community. Not saying that's everybody everywhere, but if what you need is inspiration, rentscale.com/Jeremy scoreboard. And it's just full of people that have put in so much effort and energy and care so deeply about what they're doing, and are passionate about helping investors or self-managing landlords or accidentals be better, and passionate about growing their companies. So I am incredibly grateful to be surrounded by such professional individuals, so dedicated to their craft and what they do. So even though we report out this data, huge round of applause to all of our BDMs that have put these numbers up on the scoreboard, that make us so proud to share this kind of thing out. I just can't celebrate them and the work that they've done enough.
That's a great place to leave it, Jen. I can't celebrate and shout out you enough. You are on the Renscale team, or if you're a client of Renscale, you know the amazing things that Jen does for us. And talent and teamwork is just way under celebrated these days. So Jen, I really appreciate the amazing thing you're doing, the amazing things that you're doing with our team and with our clients. And it just gives me so much pleasure and pride as a business owner to have talent like this. And I hope you guys find your own version of Jen for your team, because it does make a big difference. So thank you so much for being here. I want to share with you guys some places where you can meet Jen or I at some events that are coming up. But first, we just want to hear a quick word from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Strategic PM, the magazine for property management entrepreneurs and executives. If you go online to strategicpm.com today, you're going to find an entire website full of content written about your industry and by your peers. And it's completely free to sign up. Just go ahead and click on the create a free account right in the upper right-hand corner. When you click on that, not only can you create a digital account, but you can actually add your mailing address, and we will send you a free 1-year subscription of the print magazine, which will be showing up in your offices every single quarter. So if you take a look inside the magazine, what you're going to see is that we are focused on growth. We've got 5 pillars of Strategic PM: vision, strategy, culture, marketing, and experience. You're going to be seeing some great high-class content from some of the best thought leaders in the industry, talking about the matters that matter the most to your business. So sign up for free today at strategicpm.com and look for the magazine in your office. Guys, I really appreciate you showing up and watching this episode online and seeing what we're doing. But the real joy and the real relationships are built in person. And so I'd love to see you guys soon. So we're going to jump into the calendar. I'm going to share some dates that you can come meet Jen, I, and all of the great coaches. So first, next week, which I've been spending all of my week getting ready for, Jen and I are keynoting at the August NARPM Southern States Conference in partnership with Florida State in Sandestin, Florida, which, like I joked about before, is really hard to get to from Florida. Really excited. So Wednesday morning, you are going to hear from Jen and I. We're going to be sharing kind of the vision and the future of what we're seeing in this industry and how we should be growing our company. So I hope to see you there. 4 of us from RentScale are going to be there. I've already reached out to a lot of you guys and planned dinner and drinks and other things. But man, if you don't know me or we haven't met and you're watching this, please come up and say hi. Meet us at the booth, meet us anywhere. Just cannot wait to meet you guys. Southern States and Florida conferences are always amazing. And so I love that they're going to be together. In September, won't be able to be at this one because I have a conflict, but we're doing Texas style NARPM. It's a conference in Austin, which is my favorite city in Texas. And that's where we were recently, and we'll be back very soon again. But September 16th to 18th, NARPM Texas is having their conference in Austin, and I've never heard anything but rave reviews about that. So hope you're out there. As we move into a little bit later, as you saw in the last episode, when we had Property Meld on, they talked about their maintenance summit in Rapid City, South Dakota. Very excited. I am so bummed that I cannot make this conference because everything that Madison told me about it is something that I want to go to. So if you are trying to grow your business and you're wondering if maintenance and it is a cost center or a revenue center for you, this is where you want to go. So hope to see you guys there, and I'm definitely going to make next year. Now on October 8th, BizDev Mastermind is having their seminar, their BizDev seminar in San Antonio, Texas. Not quite as cool as Austin, but also very cool. Just a little, flight there because we obviously compete with those guys. But we love what they're doing, and they're going to have their business development seminar in San Antonio, Texas. And if you're trying to grow your business, it's worth checking out. Now, as we move into December, we get into some really exciting events. 2 events back to back. First, December 3rd through 5th. This is the very first week of December, right after Thanksgiving week. It's a wonderful time to go to Austin, Texas. Our good friends, Lead Simple, are having their Lead Simple University. It's their second one. Jen and I are also speaking at that event, and I'm sure we are going to absolutely rock your socks. So I hope you show up there. So that is Tuesday to Thursday. And then the next Friday, the same trip, you don't have to buy a second plane ticket. We may have the most exciting event that you need to go about. And that is December 6th. RentScale is having our Sales Mastery in Austin, Texas. So this is our 7th annual, although they haven't all been annual. We had 2 a year. So it's not like it's been 7 years. But in the last 5 years, we've had 7 Sales Mastery events. It's a highly rated event, lots of repeat visitors. This is going to be our biggest one yet. Typically, these events have been, 60 to 70 people. This year, we're targeting over 150. This is for business development managers, like always. It's for property management entrepreneurs and owners. It's for marketing managers. It is the premier event for property managers who want to grow their company, which is why you're watching This Week in PM. It's exactly what we do. So we'd love for you to go there. We do have a joint ticket for Lead Simple University and RentScale Sales Mastery. Reach out to anybody at rentscale.com. Go to the website, reach out. There's only a few of those out there, and I think they're almost sold out, but we would love to have you see you at both of those events. So that's the event calendar. If you have any events that you know about that we're not covering, please let us know. Just comment and let us know, because we want to make sure that we're bringing you the richest and fullest event calendar possibly. So thank you guys for being here. A year anniversary is amazing. And it's such an honor to have the team that I have that put together all this content, from the RentScale team to the Flintstone Media team putting together all of their work. You'd be shocked at how much work goes into these. So Really appreciate you guys being here. Please comment. We do it live because we want you guys to participate. A lot of our episodes, not today, but a lot of them, we're going to ask for your feedback and we want to include you guys there. So just want to wrap up. Quick note. I know that we're kind of in election season and we just finished off the conventions for everybody. And I just realized that there's a lot of animosity and a lot of uncertainty out there. But I do believe that we live in the best country in the world. And I just want to leave you guys with a note that the number one thing that's more important to you than who you vote for or who you elect is how you treat your neighbors. So I want you guys to really think through and say, who do I know that just needs an extra smile or an extra hand? If you are doing really well, I want you to think through who you can help just basically do a little bit better in their lives. If you're struggling and you need help, I want you to think about the most successful people you know, and I want you to ask them for help because I know in this country and the people that I know, they will do that for you. So above and beyond anything that is going to change your life about who you vote for or who you elect, it is how you treat your neighbors and how you treat your neighbors. And so I just really want to encourage you guys to be Americans and be amazing with everybody that you know and everybody that you come in contact with, because that is the number one way to improve your personal quality of life. I believe in you guys. I know you're doing great stuff. And I just wanted to say that because the media is out there saying a lot of things that just aren't true. And this is the best country and the best time to be alive. And your experience is based on what you do. So go out there and make it so. So that's it for us this week. Thanks for joining in and learning about the latest tips and trends from the top residential property managers in North America. Please be sure to join us every other week so that you don't miss out on your competitive advantage. Check out all the latest going on in property management and get details and show notes about today's show and guests, all the things we talked about today, all the events. Just head over to strategicpm.com. That's strategicpm.com. And that's what's happening this week in PM.